Hello from Cardiff as the Welsh capital prepares for the biggest, brightest and boldest cycling event of the summer. Welcome to Velothon. With events in Europe, Canada and down under in Australia, the Velothon series has been bringing its unique brand of cycle heaven to cities around the world. And here at Velothon Wales, a closed road course is combined with some stunning scenery in this land of myth and magic. Along the way, there are castles, mines and monuments taking in some 2,000 years of history, as well as some spine-tingling climbs. But you'll also have the help of thousands of other riders and supporters along the way. And when you do make it back here to Cardiff city centre, the crowds will be lining the streets to roar you across the finish line. And I'm pleased to say, once again this year, I'm joined by Anna Glowinski down here at the start and throughout the whole day. Anna, great to see you.
Yeah, it's awesome to be back. It's great to be here.
Yeah, and there's a few changes this year to the Velothon.
Yeah, they've got a 60-kilometre route this year, so it's a lot shorter and it doesn't take in the major climbs, but it does take in the atmosphere and the scenery. So it's a really good opportunity for people that are interested in cycling, but maybe don't want to take on such a major challenge. And there's a record number of female riders this year as well, which just goes to show that women's cycling is on the rise all the time.
Fantastic, but sadly you don't get to go cycling this year. You're on foot?
Yeah, absolutely gutted. I haven't got my bike with me, so I'm going to be getting in the van and trying to catch up with the riders as they go round.
All right, well, we'd best let you do that because these guys are about to set off. So at the front of this event, there will indeed be a hard-fought club competition, but the Velothon offers opportunities for all levels of rider. Patrick Winterton has been finding out more.
Although not officially a race, it's 100% certain that a lot of the riders are going to be giving it 100% today, getting PBs, beating your mate, helping your team, all motivational factors throughout the months of training. And that's not going to be put aside today by many of them. Although it might not be the case for Newport and Cardiff social cycling clubs who've teamed up.
You've got a fair few riders in this, haven't you?
Yes, we have. We've got about over 61 in total. And Steve, he decided we were going to do it as a joint team.
It's a social thing, but some of these guys are taking it seriously, are they?
Yeah, just a few of us. A few of us have done it before, so we want to beat our times and stuff like that. But I think the most of it is just getting, it's that whole thing of just getting everyone together and enjoying it.
Now, here's an unusual cycle, a recumbent tandem. Both riders can see, they can talk, and they can debate who's putting in the most effort.
How are the legs feeling? You've got 140 kilometres to go.
I reckon I'll find the legs hopefully around about 30k in, just warm them up and then get ready for the tumble. See how we go.
Yeah, the tumble's going to be quite a climb. Bernie, are you up for the climb today?
Yeah, well, I do most of the work. He just sits on the back. So yeah, when this thing goes downhill, it absolutely flies. So that's the enjoyable part.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing that. And as you're aware, there are 3 different courses today. The 140 kilometre, the big one, an anti-clockwise loop around South Wales, out towards Newport, up to Usk, where the 60k will start. The 125 cuts short of Abergavenny and misses out some of the main features on the route. But it's the 60 kilometre that's obviously the shortest and the easiest ride. That's the one that's attracted a lot of the newcomers. And they should have a fantastic ride starting from Usk. Now the biggest climb is on the 140, the tumble, just after they've gone through Abergavenny. It's a brute of a climb, 5 kilometres long, and that's not the end of it, because once they get down towards Caerphilly, there's another very, very steep climb before the run into Cardiff. It is a spectacular course, and I think everyone here is going to enjoy it. 9,000 riders signed up, and Bath are the team champions, and they have been for a long time.
I think some of the guys will be trying to win it, and they've got a good chance. We've won it every year so far, the race, but it's been very close the last few years.
It's all fast and furious out to Abergavenny, and then we'll be grinding it out at the tumble.
And it's well worth knowing that the top 4 riders only in each club count for that team event. Well, the pre-event nerves suddenly evaporating with the first rotation of the crank. Don't know where it goes, but the energy needs to be conserved. Remember, the second half of this course is the toughest. The tumble and Caerphilly Mountain have sorted the pack in the past, and I suspect they'll do the same again today. It's a steady start as they wind their way out of Wales's capital city. A minute on the clock and already starting to wind up the speed. A fantastic turnout, not only of athletes and riders, but spectators as well. Usk generally is one of the highlights, and we'll see that later on in the day. Cardiff Castle creating a suitable atmosphere for the early stages. The magic roundabout, designed by Pierre Buffon back in 1992. I'm not sure he expected it to be here 26 years later, but a very popular feature indeed. And the leading teams establishing themselves at the front as we would have expected as they head out towards Newport, the next landmark, the Transporter Bridge, one of only 8 still functioning and the biggest in the world. Some 15 minutes between the waves. Mark Howells, who's planning on competing in the Invictus Games, he suffers from PTSD, as do some 18% of soldiers serving in Afghanistan and Iraq. It's a big day for him.
You know this part of the world fairly well. There's a few decent climbs in this, aren't there? There's some great scenery as well.
There are, yeah. So some of them are quite challenging. In particular, I would say Caerphilly at the end, because pretty much everybody's legs are spent at that point. So it's keeping something in reserve ready for that end climb.
So with the last few waves underway, almost 9,000 riders on the roads of Wales, some of them with 140 kilometres to go.
So that's it. Velothon Wales for 2018 is underway. Thousands of cyclists are now heading out of Cardiff and off into the Welsh countryside, and they'll be back here in a few hours, perhaps with a little less energy, but I'm sure with no less enthusiasm. And of course, they'll have had an unforgettable day cycling on those wheels.
How amazing is this to be riding closed roads in the capital city of Cardiff? This is my 4th consecutive year. I never miss this race. I love it.
We do 50 mile an hour, I'll follow you.
And Mark Howell still going strong, looking good in the early stages.
It's just amazing, you know. I think we're all after a sense of achievement at the end of the day.
And a fairly furious pace being set at the front of the field as they go through Caerleon. They've still got Usk, Abergavenny, Pontypool, Caerphilly to go before they'll see the outskirts of Cardiff for the second time. The masses only just getting off the Gwent levels, going past the Newport Transporter Bridge, and it looks as though we've got a 2-man breakaway as they enter Usk, and that's 2 riders from the World Bicycle Relief. Now they provide bikes to the third world to aid the transport situation there, and they're looking good at this stage. Usk, a regular winner of Wales in Bloom, and they've also put a fantastic effort in decorating the bikes. There are some 70 bike wheels, many of them painted by Danielle Farrington, a renowned artist in these parts.
Welcome to us, feed station next left.
And that will be music to many of the riders' ears. A calorie feast coming up.
Well, great. Well, I'm a big fan of these. They're just what you need after you've done 60k, so yeah, I'm just going to get stuck in.
Do these represent your riding style?
No, I'm normally Mr. Grumpy.
So far, so good. The test is yet to come, though, isn't it?
It's a cracking day. I've never seen so many people out on a bike. I mean, everywhere we go, all the villagers, everyone's turned out, cowbells are ringing, people are cheering us through. It's just a fantastic party atmosphere.
Always make a day of it, yeah. We start off at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I think they do so well, so we just always cheer them on. This is the best vantage point as well, isn't it?
Plenty of support in Usk, which is, of course, the venue for the start of the 60-kilometre race. Included in their number, a group of very colourful ladies racing for Belle Curran, who suffers from interstitial lung disease.
Basically, we're raising money for Team Belle's story. She's currently on the emergency transplant list and is waiting for a double lung transplant. And it's basically crucial that we raise awareness of organ donation and that people talk to their families and try and raise awareness to give Belle the life that she deserves. Go Team Belle! Amazing!
A high percentage of women starting from Usk, and that is just what the organisers wanted to see. They provided a safe environment for them to get out and experience a really tough bike ride.
60 seemed doable, so we thought, let's give it a try.
Do you have a motivational tune to listen to?
Well, at the moment, I'm liking Demi Lovato's solo. I just keep on whoop, whoop, whoop. You'll see me go pie.
I love cycling. I really wanted to experience, we were just saying, having a closed road, so this is going to be an experience.
All smiles as they head out of one of the most colourful villages in Wales, and that smell of sausages is going to encourage one or two to stop. Now, this is the big climb, the tumble at 86 kilometres. The climb itself about 5 kilometres long, and it's the first section that's the steepest. And the leaders could well find themselves struggling at this stage. So often we see an early break here. Once out of the trees, the gradient eases off a little, but you've got to have something left if you're going to accelerate. Dan Adams, now he's pushed the pace. He's a bit of a Mark Cavendish look-alike. But of course, Geraint Thomas is the man they're all talking about in these parts. What prospects he has in the Tour de France this year, and he'll have some bigger climbs than this. The summit at just over 500 metres, and a nice long fast descent back down towards Cardiff. They're through the halfway stage now. Not much of a gap for Adams, and there's a big chase group behind him. Rob Pears is in there, Rennie Ulm, we've got Miles Gatherer and Robert Grover also there. Robert Grover with the fastest time on the tumble, but Adams at the moment is the man out front. Hey! Further back, it's all smiles, but they've yet to do the first of the big climbs. That will certainly stop the chat and might even wipe the smile off a few faces. Here they go. It gets slower and slower as they go up, and the heat of the day won't be helping.
How are you feeling?
I feel tired, but I feel wonderful at the same time.
Yeah.
It's such a massive achievement to do this ride.
It's really tough.
What's your philosophy? Just find a pace and keep going at that?
I'm just going up really slow.
It's going hotly and hardly, and not in the usual fun way, but it is really brilliant.
Well, that's quite hard to get a grasp of, but the more you hurt yourself, the more pleasure you get ultimately. One or two opting for a little walk up the hill.
Very exhausting, but a fantastic atmosphere, all these riders. Yeah, tremendous.
Amazing. Lovely day, sunny, great atmosphere. Loving it.
Some can talk, some can hardly breathe. Great scenes at the summit.
Pretty tough, not gonna lie.
And more than a few happy to take some time, get some fluid on board, have a breather. Others straight over the top and down the descent. Just over 50 kilometres still to go before they'll be back in Cardiff. The leaders already approaching Caerphilly. A castle and Caerphilly Mountain awaits.
Welcome back to Velothon Wales, where today the nation's capital, Cardiff, has become the hub for a global sportif series where thousands of riders have been taken on a tour of the Welsh countryside on a route that has fast become as famous for its views as it has for its physical demands.
Some are taking it steady, others definitely pushing the pace, and Robert Grover is one of them. He takes the lead, going past Dan Adams, who was the first to the top of the tumble, and it'll be interesting to see whether Adams can get on to Grover's back wheel. He does just that, but there's the steepest climb still to come, and so often the first man over the top is the first man home. 126 kilometres completed. It's a 140-kilometre race, so still some 14 Ks to go. And at this pace, that's not going to take much more than 26 minutes. The chase group have stuck together for the last 15 Ks or so. This could break them. The steepest climb of all. The last 2 years have been decided on this climb. From the top, it's just over 10 kilometres to home, and it's pretty much all downhill. So 2 300-metre lead can be defended. The legs screaming at this stage. And from what we've heard, Bath doing very well in the team event. They're trying to defend an unbeaten record. Some awesome speeds achieved on the downhill sections. And Cardiff Castle, the second biggest in Britain, I believe. Not much time to enjoy the sights. They know exactly what's coming.
Tough, absolutely horrendous, but we can do it.
Some are forced onto their feet, others suffering a little bit more. The slower you go on the bike, the harder it gets to ride.
Don't get off, go on, push it. Hey, how's it been?
Tough.
Oh.
And even superheroes have a limit.
Well, the tumble nearly killed me, but this one, I need a minute. Oh, spots before my eyes.
It's hurting.
This is Matthew Simmons, who's a Velothon regular. I must say, it's good to see him back on his bike after what he's been through of late.
Back in October, I was knocked off a bike with a couple of mates. One was killed, unfortunately, but you know, I'm here today just to sort of you know, give it a try, because we're doing a charity ride for him soon. So I thought this would be a good measure as to where I'm at the minute with fitness, because I've not done much since the bump, actually.
Well, there's no doubt that Caerphilly Mountain will provide that test. He'll find out exactly what sort of shape he's in, and should end up in better shape than he started. Once at the top of Caerphilly Mountain, it's all downhill, barring a major mechanical. You will make it to the finish on King Edward VII Avenue in Cardiff. And Matthew, almost at the summit, can start dreaming of that.
The encouragement all the locals give you is unbelievable. You know, all the kids are out there with their banners and stuff like that, and shaking tins and stuff. So it's always good fun, cracking event, well organised.
You made it.
Yeah, that one was for Jack. Right, have a good one. Cheers.
Strong driving force, and that was a good ride up that hill. A steady flow of riders over the top of Caerphilly Mountain. The leader's now approaching Cardiff, and here is the leader, Robert Grover, who hung back in the early stages. A fantastic ride up the tumble, took the lead just before they entered Caerphilly, and now he enters King Edward VII Avenue on his own. What a fantastic finish from him. He'll get the fastest time, just over 3 hours 46 minutes.
We sort of broke apart in the tumble, and there were a few sort of guys all over the road. I was expecting them to come round any second and catch me, especially those last 10k. I was since Caerphilly, I was really working hard, and yeah, I thought they were going to get me. I was slowing right down.
And the chasing group, it looks as though Mike Hindley might just get in second place, having a good battle with Rob Pears, who's reckoned to be the fastest time-trialling dentist in the world. He comes in third. Rennie Ohm for Miles Gatherer, getting 5th position. And the Bath riders once again peppering those top positions. There's no way any other team's going to catch them, so they continue their run of success in the Wales Velothon. 2 more of their number coming across the line. What a day they've had.
We've got a mixture of people, young and old, and yeah, we try and bring young ones through. We come to, have a good go. There'll be lots of people in the club that are coming in with the masses behind, but generally a good day all round.
Great scenes in the centre of Cardiff as the first female finisher approaches the line. Kim Bainbridge, number 642, a time of 4:20.54.
Ahead of me, I saw the first lady, and I thought, I can do this. I came second in Tour of Cambridgeshire, and I thought I could come first. I've never come first, so I thought just kind of go for it. So I absolutely gave it everything.
So Kim Bainbridge, what a day for her. She lives in Leatherhead, Surrey, and is also a triathlete actually, trained by Annie Emerson, and she's had a cracking ride here today. Nice to see some of the teams sticking together throughout. And here comes Mark Howells on the right of your picture. With this performance, he's definitely on course for the Invictus Games.
Take my time on the hills and then kind of slam it on the downhills and make up that time, so it pays dividends in the end.
And here come Duncan and Bernie on the recumbent tandem. We saw them across the start line. They've made it back to Cardiff.
Loads of people supporting, banging saucepans and drums and music. Yeah, great, really good.
You see all the countryside, you don't have to worry about cars, there's other riders, it's a good event.
Well, 2018 has not disappointed. It's been another fantastic day out here at Velothon Wales. And I'll tell you what, for these guys, the views have been rewarding, the miles have been tough, but each and every one of those medals is so well earned. So until next year, from all of us here in Cardiff, goodbye.